Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Music Wars, Episode 7. I am your host, Judah Terry, and I'm joined by Nintendo music producer Eli Turp as we go head-to-head with some of the best video game music on the planet. For those of you who may have just clicked on this episode out of interest and don't know about this series so far, this is where a series of me and my good friend Elijah, we select a Nintendo game and their OCT, original soundtrack, and we will present to you three of our favourites from that OCT, and we'll tell you why we think that should win over the other one that we've chosen. So basically, at the end of each week, there'll be a winner. There'll be a winning soundtrack, and then at the end of the series, which is episode 10, the winner of the Nintendo Music Wars will be the person who's won the most. But of course, it's a series that you guys make possible, so don't forget to vote. But anyway, Elijah, we're episode 7 into our series. How are you doing? It's the morning time. I'm feeling a lot better recording in the morning or the beginning of the mid-afternoon, to be fair. But, it's better. It's not like we've just had a long day of work and toil, and now we're just coming to the mics. We're fresh in the morning. It's good. It's nice to be just recording and have a fresh slate.
Yeah, our brains are more awake, which is important.
Yes, our brains are more awake because this one's going to be a juicy episode. I've got some things to say.
We've both got some pretty good games today.
I'm very excited for this episode. But anyway, I thought we would just head straight into it with the winner of last week. So, last week, what did you choose, Elijah?
I chose Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U.
Yes, and I chose Monster Hunter Stories, which is for the 3DS. And I thought Monster Hunter Stories would win, but it was quite a brutal smash around my face, literally, on YouTube, because I got like 2 people that voted for me.
I was surprised. I really thought you would get more on. But on YouTube it was very one-sided.
YouTube was very one-sided, very brutal, very mean. I'm very angry with you all. I'm joking, it's not. No problem, guys. It's fine. But then again, loads of you did also vote for Monster Hunter Stories everywhere else, so thank you very much. But the winner of the week, let's decide who it was. Drum roll, please. The winner of this week is Elijah with Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and the Wii U, coming in at 55%, 227 votes. Well done, man.
Another close call. Yeah.
Another close call. Now, I forgot to say the total people that voted. We got 412 people, so less than last time.
Less than last time. I think it was just because it was a rerun kind of episode,
Maybe.
Maybe
it was.
Re-chose for a round 2 kind of thing. So,
yeah.
I think this week pick it up. It's fine.
Hopefully we can pick it up because I think it's because maybe people were like, I've already seen this, maybe because it looked similar. It looked similar. I don't know, but the YouTube did terrible. It looked terrible. Like for me, it just terrible. We usually get like 100 views. It was rubbish on YouTube, but that's fine because the podcast did normal, I think, but it wasn't as much. So it's quite interesting to see how a title can affect the entire way the revenue the episode gets. But yeah, 412 people still voted, and we appreciate everybody who's voted in.
Cool.
Yeah, and 227 of those people were for you. For me, coming in at second place, 45% for Monster Hunter Stories was 185 votes. So we tried, guys, but we didn't win. But anyway, so the scores on the doors are, I believe it's now Elijah 4 points. Yeah, Elijah, you've got 4 points. And I've got 2 points.
You've got to catch up.
I've got to catch up.
You can still win. We have 3 more episodes to go.
Yeah.
You can still win. If you win all 3 of these, then you can win. If you don't win all 3 of them, then I have 1. But it's still worth continuing.
I mean, the game is on now. The game is officially on. It's starting to get tense.
The pressure is on for you.
The pressure is on for me because I have got to win every single 3 to overtake Elijah. But I mean,
I'm going to try my hardest to stop you.
He's going to try because, to be fair, Elijah's a musician though. Like this is his speciality. This is what he does. So I'm like, mate, this is a bit of an unfair match. You're just going to win the Nintendo Music Wars.
I think so far, I feel like I haven't really sold myself properly, I've more just kind of left it to the audience. So.
Yeah. So it's great so your viewers can go and see you kind of say all the music that you like from all sorts of games in a battle fashion. You know, it's great. But anyway, guys, without further ado, I'm looking forward to getting straight into this week's game soundtracks. And we're going to start, of course, with Elijah, as always. Elijah, what have you chosen this week and why?
Okay, so this week I've chosen one of my favorite games of all time. And it's not even a nostalgia kind of favorite. It's a game I discovered not recently, but semi-recently, like years ago, but not so many years ago that it's like nostalgia.
Okay.
As many of you may know, I'm a big Ace Attorney person, so today I've chosen Ace Attorney: Trials and Tribulations.
Wait, you finally kind of chosen what you're famous for. If you like.
Yeah, I've made. I mean, again, as many of you may know, I've made some Ace Attorney albums, and they did pretty well for like my channel size. So.
Oh yeah, you did like was it thousands of? What was the most? Was it 32,000 or something on one of the albums or something?
I don't know.
I forgot the view check, but Elijah's contributed massively to the Ace Attorney musics on YouTube. So yeah, if you type in Ace Attorney music, you're most definitely going to come up. It's most definitely going to come up with some of Elijah's albums. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. Good music. I've always enjoyed the music more than anything else. Hence the albums have done well. Also, clearly, other people have enjoyed it as much as I have. So I'm glad to see that. So let's get into. Well, let's talk a bit about the game first. So
yeah, let's have a talk about the game.
Yeah. So it's my favorite game franchise of all time, and Trials and Tribulations is the third game in the original trilogy, which is my favorite of the three. So I love everything about the game, like the characters, the story, the gameplay, and most of all, the music. So for the gameplay, it's a story-driven point-and-click kind of puzzle game. But then there's courtroom battles, that's dialogue, choosing, evidence examination, deduction, and witness cross-examination. It's a wacky series of games, but it's also very, very well received all across the world. For as large as the series is, it's still somewhat niche, though. Many people will know about Ace Attorney, but not a lot of them actually played it or seen it.
Yeah.
So I recommend doing that, people. Come on. The fan base.
I still need to play Phoenix Wright. I've only played Apollo Justice, so... Yeah, you're correct. I've definitely heard of it. I've heard the music. I've seen memes of it and everything. I just never played it. I never played Phoenix Wright.
You got to play it, man. The fan base is great. It's very welcoming. So for people who are like you, who are yet to experience an Ace Attorney game, find some time to do so, please.
Yeah, check it out.
To quote YouTuber 8-Bit Music Theory, saying that the Phoenix Wright series of games is unique is like saying that the Mario series is mildly successful. It'll be a great understatement. Like, it is such a weird series, but it's so good. It has its own personality,
I definitely think it's good, though. From what I've seen, the game is no doubt one of the most fun puzzle games you could ever get when it comes to also crime. Crime sort of puzzle solving / crime,
It invented a whole genre of games. Like courtroom games didn't exist before.
Courtroom games,
Ace Attorney. Yeah, like legal games like this just didn't exist. But it invented a whole genre.
Yeah, it's got like an anime style to it as well. For those of you who like anime, it's got like an anime style, and I like that. Being someone who likes anime,
of course, Japanese game,
yeah.
But the series is phenomenal. Really, it's brimming with personality. I love it so much.
You can fall in love with the characters, honestly. There's so many personalities with all the characters that you'll get to meet throughout the games.
As for the music of Ace Attorney, it's even more amazing, and it's used all over the internet. So even by people who aren't Ace Attorney fans, like you've probably heard Ace Attorney music in a YouTube video without even realizing it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's played all over, no one really knows. But it's very, very popular. The music especially. It's very well written, incredibly unique. That's kind of the main thing about this kind of stuff. Very, very unique, full of life. Every track conveys some sort of emotion, obviously depending on the situation and the track itself, but they all convey some sort of emotion. And from a technical standpoint, the music is masterfully written. The music works with the gameplay really well. Like in a trial, you're mainly looking at the same courtroom scene for a while, so and if you start paying attention to the dialogue, it may feel like it drags on. So the music changes for different cues, or whether you're objecting to something, or listening to a testimony, or perhaps a new character has been introduced. Whatever it may be, the music will represent it well, and move about to keep you on your feet and to make the scene feel like it's ever progressing and ever changing and alive, you know?
I always, when I was playing Apollo Justice again, I loved the. I mean, Apollo Justice is terribly similar, I would say, isn't it, to this whole series?
Well, it's the same thing. Yeah.
It's the same. It is literally the same thing, which is a different character. And they had recently had their own. Was it the trilogy? They've recently actually put them all together for the Switch.
Yeah, it's been announced. Yeah,
it's been announced now, but go check that out as well, guys. But honestly, I always noticed that the music would always keep me. Like, it'd give me a hint of what's going on. So sometimes I'll be solving a case, and all of a sudden I would solve the mystery. I'd be like, I've got I'm on a lead here, and I would choose the right thing, and all of a sudden the music would change. I'm like, I'm onto something. You know, the music's actually getting quite exciting or quite tense. People are getting a bit annoyed. You know, as you continue to press the subject, the case. And yeah, the music, of course, changes along with however the situation unfolds, which is really good.
Yeah. The trials have so many twists, and the music, you know, so it has to excite you. It has to stress you out or make you sad, make you joyous, make you feel like you're discovering something, surprise you, and so much more. It does a really good job. You know, it kind of I feel like it carries the game in its own way. You know, without the music, obviously, it wouldn't be the same. But rather than other games. Like, oh, here's a forest theme because you're in a forest. Like, rather than just have a single courtroom theme when you're in the courtroom, it has like 20 different themes that will play within the courtroom.
Yeah.
And I think that's really clever, really, for its time as well. That's a whole new thing.
They realised that music really makes the games a whole new level of fun. That's what they realised, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. So each of the interesting thing, each of the games have a different composer, which I find that quite interesting.
Wow. So, that is interesting now. Okay. Yeah. So they've got a different composer for each game.
Yeah. So Masakazu Sugimori, he's the composer of the first game. He laid the groundwork for the series. You know, he started it off. So every composer that followed that kind of stuck to the same formula of like having certain tension themes and objection themes and all of that to kind of keep it consistent. But then they've always put their own twist on it, each composer individually, which I think is, again, it's very interesting. A lot of people don't like the change. Like, I don't like change. But then, like, if you hear it and, you know, you don't just think, oh, it's changed. You think, oh, this is still Western music, and it just gets better and better as it goes along, which I think is really interesting.
That's interesting, you know. Do you know, out of interest, if the guy, you may not know this, or you may know this, but the composer for Apollo Justice, because that's just my favourite game within the series, because it's the only game I played. I loved it. Do you know if the composer for Apollo Justice, I forgot the rest of the title, but the Apollo Justice game. For the Nintendo DS. Do you know if the composer for that was also took part in composing any of the music for or Phoenix Wright? Do you know?
No, that is different.
Okay, yeah, because I definitely can sense a difference between, because I have heard a lot of the Ace Attorney tracks, and I've got genuine favourites, and also then I noticed with the Apollo Justice music, it sounds very different. So
that's because for that reason, that's not even just a composer thing. So obviously, even like Hideki Okugawa, I believe he's one of the composer for Apollo Justice.
Right.
He still followed that same structure that, you know, the original Ace Attorney composer laid out, but it sounds different because the original Ace Attorney trilogy was made for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, wow.
And Apollo Justice is for DS. So it sounds better because it was
so 8-bit, on
a whole different console. Yeah, I am going to play today the kind of DS remastered themes of the original trilogy, just because they sound better and it's easy to listen to. But yeah, they are the same kind of thing. But that's why there's a difference in the sound fonts.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I've got some. I probably should actually bring out Apollo Justice in this series, because I've got some lovely tracks that I actually saved to my playlist of Spotify and just listen to sometimes. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favourites.
Yeah, so today, chosen Trials and Tribulations, Noriyuki Iwadare, he composed the soundtrack for this game, and my goodness, does it groove. Like, it's really, really groovy compared to the others. So the first game had, you know, its classic tracks. It was fun, sad, exciting, all of that. The second game in the trilogy was very unique, very different, a bit ominous. Obviously, still the same kind of tracks previously, though. And then the third game had a mix of kind of everything put before it. all with its own twists. But then
Yeah.
Iwadare decided to add groove to most of the tracks, making it a very rhythmically focused soundtrack. Yeah,
Don't worry,
I
I
adore that.
can't
I
say
adore
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool though, because like I like how they're using because this was a long time ago. I mean, this is we're listening to the remaster, right, of the 8-bit music type.
Mm.
This is for the Game
I mean,
Boy.
it's still 8-bit.
It
Even on
is still
DS.
8-bit,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is they've done. I mean, I easily sometimes look at 8-bit music and I'm like, nah, I know better.
Mm.
But I need to think actually and go back to the time that was out and be like, okay, this is what they only had limited resources at the time. This would have sounded really good, back in the day. And yeah, when I think about it now, I'm like, they did a good job.
Yeah,
For this,
and
they did a good job.
yeah, as a musician, also thinking about the actual composition themselves. It's like the whole thing of a video game composer is still a composer. They're still an actual musician themselves, and they are just writing music, but putting it into at the time, a game. So it sounded different than if you were just recording and playing in a band.
Exactly. So yeah, are you ready to go ahead?
One more thing before we dive into the tracks.
Right,
there's a video.
I'm getting too excited.
There's a video I'll send you to link in the description. It's a video on Ace Attorney by 8-Bit Music Theory. It's only 20 minutes long, but it is one of like the best videos I've ever watched. It's really well presented. Genuinely, I would love for you all to see it. So you could watch it now, or you could watch it afterwards, whatever. But it will be linked in the description for you. So please, go watch that video. It talks
check that link out.
Talks about the music very well presented, written, spoken. It's just a good video, easy to watch as well. So.
Yeah, so scroll down now if you want to quickly see it. If not, just after the episode, you can go and find that in the show description with all the other songs, so the full song versions.
Right, let's get on to some examples then.
Yes, so examples of your top 3. Am I correct?
Yeah, my. Okay, actually, these aren't my top 3.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I've got good things to say about all of his tracks, right? But overall, I didn't want to be mean, but I don't have a favourite out of these 3. They're just not really my style. But
it's fair enough. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Different kinds of music. Yeah, these aren't my top 3. These are in my top 10, but they're not my top 3.
Okay.
I just didn't want to pick the 3 that everyone already knows. Because the thing is, my top 3 are like everyone's top 3 for this game if they know it. And that's the thing, like then you're just listening to me talk about something you already know about. And I'd rather teach you something or show you something new than show you something you've already heard a bunch of times.
Smart.
And also, I can then plug myself and say, hey, if you want to listen to the other Trials and Tribulations music, I have remasters on my channel of these music, and they're really good.
Yeah, definitely. I actually prefer some of your remasters over the original. I really like.
I'm glad about that. I've actually had a lot of people say that, and I'm really happy that they prefer the remasters over the original, in the sense that because it's still. I don't like to touch the competition too much with a lot of them. I do with some. I will just rearrange it completely because I feel like it. But most of them, I try and keep it as close to the original as possible, like with the same feeling behind it. But obviously, it sounds a lot more modern, or it sounds in a certain style, certain genre, whatever it may be.
The aroma of dark coffee. I love the remaster you did.
That's my most popular one. Yeah.
I put that on. The fact that I just really liked it, and I even put it in my YouTube's music's favorites playlist. Like nice, I listen to your own remaster. It's like, how do you feel, man? I'm just doing my work.
I'm honoured.
Your remaster comes up on my loudspeakers, and I'm like, yeah, dun. I'm like, that's Elijah. That's my friend. That's honestly, I love your remasters. So honestly, plug yourself as much as you can in this episode because I want all my viewers to hear. Yeah, I do. It's really good.
Yeah. Before we talk about the 3 that I've chosen, just going to make a quick note about translation and the date. So if you're going to look up these songs afterwards or anything, a lot of these names were lost in translation in the sense that Japanese game, and they were never actually given like an official name, or like it depends on where you are in the world. There's like people, French people who have this game, and it was translated to English, but the French version of the English game, like they have different names than we would in Britain or America, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
every country has different names, which is really annoying for consistency on the internet. But it's obviously the same song. It's just hard to find certain ones sometimes. But I'm going to give the general name that you can use to find them.
I see.
For the date kind of thing, a lot of these if you are looking for them, just put 2004 at the end, because that's what they're called in the code. Because the game came out in 2004, so a lot of them have 2004 in the code for the audio file, and hence it's online the same thing. So just some notes if you're trying to find them afterwards or whatever.
Yeah, that's a fair point though with the whole translation thing. To your main point, there's being someone who loves Japanese games in particular. There's been times where I've been trying to find a particular music track that's been lost in translation. I've never been able to find it, and that's why I use my Japanese skills or a translator. And sometimes the English version or the English name of that track is completely different, and even doesn't even do the track justice. Like the English version will be just rubbish when I say the English version, I mean the English title will not be anything as the original owner or the creator, the Japanese creator, intended, which is quite sad. But it's sadly a thing.
Yeah, even on my YouTube channel, a lot of my songs I title them the way that I believe it's correct, because it's the closest one to the like literal translation, but it makes sense in English. Like, because obviously some things translated from Japanese to English sound a bit weird, like broken structure and things. So
coffee cup. No,
right. I don't know. Like, there was one that I read before. Like, I can even find the videos I have.
Big fat man.
Like, Courtroom Lobby, Never Ending Overture. It's not called that. It's just not. It's not called that. Even in the game, they say it's the Defendant Lobby, and then it's the Courtroom, like separately.
Right.
It's two different things. It's not the Courtroom Lobby. It's the Defendant Lobby, because there's multiple different lobbies. You wouldn't call it the Courtroom Lobby, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like those kind of things. Or like, rather than saying, I don't know, like they call it like middle stage rather than core, because like it's a literal translation for certain things. I'm like, it's not called that, you know. So
yeah.
I sometimes pull back from arguing with my own people on like my YouTube channel when they leave a comment, or like they leave a comment quoting a character, and like that's the wrong quote, you know. Like, I get what you're trying to say.
Oh yeah.
That's not the actual English version of that quote, you know.
Like, oh yeah. It can be a bit annoying, the whole translation issue, but
but it's fine. Anyway, just a note before
just a note.
Right, let us begin then.
Let us begin. What's your first track, Elijah?
So my first track is Defendant Lobby, as I've just said. So again, if you want to find this, Defendant Lobby 2004. That's what I'd say. So I want to start with this track, because this is one of the first tracks you hear in the game. And I think it's great overall. You know, it's the kind of start of your journey in a way. But there's an air of tension to it, you know, befitting for the Defendant Lobby, where you nervously await the trial with your client. But then, despite this tension, the rhythmic pattern of the synth keys and the really interesting melody line, and also the little hi-hat hits and other drum hits here and there, and the bass that leads into every bar or two, it's all really groovy. So you got this like tension, and you're nervous, like this nervous energy, but then at the same time you're like, I kind of want to dance, you know. It's a weird thing.
It's actually funny because that's it. You know what you've actually just said there. That's exactly what I put in my notes. I put suspense, but there's a groove. So definitely, 100%.
Yeah, you can really feel the pulse as well, even through the syncopation. You can, you feel the beat, you feel it.
There's a groove.
It's grooving. Yeah. And it all comes, and there's one moment, so it's kind of tense building, and it all comes together for a moment. Like, it's a really powerful thing where the synths double up and the organ plays in unison rather than some chord and response thing, and it all comes together, and the drums and the bass they hit hard, and it goes back to the steady tension. And that kind of build up and then like immediate pushback is really interesting to hear, and it's even better later when there's a break in the instruments entirely. There's a complete bar of silence, and it just like it drops silence.
It switches up a bit.
It's the same. It sits on the same chord the whole time, but it changes a lot, like structure wise. It's really good. The rise and pause, and then the power back down to another rise, whatever. It's all very well written, and I think those special moments in between the usual sections feel even more so impactful because of, I don't know, just the way it's written. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
but man, does it groove like all over. I gotta love it, man.
Yeah, for my view on it, Elijah's kind of done it justice, to be fair. I mean, again, it's like not my style, but I'll give it the respect it needs. It's got a suspense to it, 100%. It's got a groove, and then I think it's a skill you must have to fuse suspension or tension with groove. That's quite a hard combination. Like if I ask Elijah, sit down and make me a track that's suspense, that you feel really suspense, then you also feel groovy. I'm pretty sure you'll
I would
spend
struggle. I would really
yeah,
struggle. Yeah.
you would struggle. I mean, I would struggle. I'm not even a musician. I can actually imagine that would be hard. And yeah, so I would say the skill is spot on here. Yeah, 100%. Good song.
Yeah, should we give it a listen then?
Let's give it a listen. And that was Defendant Lobby. What's your second track, Elijah?
Okay, so my second track is Investigation Core. So these are the kind of themes that will play when you're walking around town or walking around the crime scene, whatever it may be, picking up clues, talking to witnesses and like detectives and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's an opening version.
Investigating.
Investigating. Yeah, there's an opening version, which is a completely different song, but this is the core or middle stage, whatever it may be called online.
The core,
where,
right?
You know, you've explored a bit, you've gone to court, and trial's been suspended. You couldn't come to a conclusion. You had to go back out, investigate more. You go deeper into it. You're in the core of the investigate. You're in the heart of it all now, and it's got, I don't know. It's got to be more interesting because you're in a more interesting location. Things like that. But
yeah.
So, although it sounds intense, and it is a bit intense, but really these are quite playful tracks. These investigation ones, they're more just while you talk to a goofy detective, you can bob your head and like enjoy yourself. Oh look, I found a murder weapon. Hell yeah, woo, let's go. There's that kind of thing. It's not like childish playful, but it's like I don't know, a seriousness that doesn't take itself too seriously. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this track. This is where it kind of slightly went down for me. It's my opinion.
Okay.
The reason is it just sounds quite similar to the first one, and I kind of got it's pretty. Now here's the thing with that: it is a bit 8-bit, so I would admit they do sound quite similar. With here's the thing I didn't like. It very much reminds me of Tetris. Like I do not like Tetris.
You don't like Tetris?
I don't. No,
it's a hot
I don't.
take now.
Yeah, it's a hot take. I'm sorry, everyone, if you are those Tetris people and you're like, diddle diddle diddle. I'm like, no, shut it. Just throw it out the window.
That's not even a Tetris
a
song. That's not even like made for Tetris. It's a classical piece of music. I think it's Russian.
It is. Yes, it is. I know. I'm aware it's classical piece. I don't like the 8-bit.
Yeah, it's classical music as well. No.
Too many hot takes. Too many hot takes. No. The actual tracks were right, but I'm talking about the 8-bit sort of.
Yeah.
It's like a Tetris bop, and like my mum. Here's the reason: my mum used to play it all the time, and it's just I grew up having to listen to that track. Various of the members of my family and friends played it. I tried it for 5 seconds and then threw the phone or whatever it was at the wall in anger because I just didn't understand. I just didn't like it. It annoyed me. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't like it. Just annoyed. What's the point of lining up little blocks to fit into each block? And if you just don't do it in time, it just like builds this massive tower that you weren't expecting, and you just stop pulling your hair out with frustration because it's going too fast. And then
it is a pretty stressful game, but I like it. I think Tetris is
good. I don't like it, but yeah, it is reason. It just and then of course it just didn't. When I just heard it, I was like, "This is Tetris. This is the sort of thing that I play at a Tetris game." And I was like, "This is the annoying thing. This is the annoying thing. This is what Tetris. I blame this on Tetris. No matter how much I listen to this track, Investigation Core, I just can't get out of my head Tetris. I mean, I can't really respect this because I just think, oh, it's just Tetris. I just think the blocks going up and down." Like
you don't respect Tetris. Oh man.
I know exactly. So it's a bit of an annoying thing. But besides that, it's hard to say. It just sounds like a bit of a generic, arcade game. I can't really. I mean, arcade games. It's just I don't really like arcades. Been in an arcade once when I was on a date with someone. Walked out as soon as I walked in. Just boring. But the music is a bit, it's boppy, 8-bitty. It's all right, It's I guess if you like it, you like that sort of thing. But for me, it just doesn't quite do it. But I respect that you're bringing it to the show, and what's interesting is that it's in a investigation call. It's in a Phoenix Wright game. I'm like, wow, that's interesting because it sounds really happy clappy, and it's got a bit of you can't really tell because if there's any suspense because it's just so 8-bitty. Happy Tetrisy. I don't know how to describe it.
The thing is, that's the thing about Phoenix. You need to you need to watch a Phoenix Wright game. Damn it, you need to, because it's not a really serious game. Like it has really serious moments,
quite jokey actually,
and it has really sad moments. But it is a funny game. It's pretty much a comedy, and like it spits on the Japanese legal system a lot and things like that. It is just it's actually a fun. Like it's a fun game. It's why for me people love it. It's not like the most serious thing in the world. That's why I guess people who haven't played it or seen it and they just hear legal game, and they hear like some of the more powerful themes, like the more emotional ones. They're like, this must be a really really intense game. No, man, it's a blast. It's just casual.
Honestly, I'm sorry, I can't really find anything good to say. I guess it's just personal preference at this point. It's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure there's probably people who can agree with me, and there's many people that wouldn't agree with me because they're Phoenix Wright fans, and it's good.
To reiterate what I said earlier, like I didn't want to include the objection theme or Godot's theme. Or...
I was surprised. It's like, where are all the good tracks along? Why is it all these weird?
We already know them. We already know them, and I wanted to listen to some tracks you would hear but never like properly appreciate unless you listen to them on their own.
Okay.
I feel like when thinking about the soundtrack, for all the listeners here, when you think about the soundtrack, you can now think about the super popular ones, but also these kind of groove-centric little ones that you don't pay attention to, like this. I thought that's nice. See, I like the structure of it. The song structure. It flows nicely, breaks nicely, comes back together nicely. It just works,
Yeah. Okay.
And the bass and the drums, and all the different synths. That's what really carries it. That's nice. I think it's got that unique Ace Attorney flavor to it, but then with the like funk inspirations kind of hidden underneath. I like it.
To be fair, I think I do need to definitely play the game to actually have a new level of respect for this song. Because at the moment, I'm not like that. Overly, this is not really special, but
it's fine. We all have a opinion. That's fine.
But interesting. You ready to give? Let's give it a listen. And that was Investigation Core. On to your third and final track, Elijah. What is it?
Okay, my third and final track is Look at Me. The second part is called I Just Want Love. However, there's also certain ones that are called Look at Me, and again, lost in translation.
Yeah, Luke at me. That's just like look at me.
There's lots of pun names in Zenny.
I just noticed.
Like D. Vasquez, Diva, Dick Gumshoe. Both words mean detective, and he's a detective. Like, there's a lot of pun names out there.
Yeah,
I don't know, Von Karma. He gets his karma coming back at him. Like, it's so many. Just, yeah.
Yes.
Phoenix Wright. he's right all the time. Like, bro,
I like it. This is my sort of humour. It's kind of
Apollo Justice,
sarcastic.
he delivers justice. Like,
It's quite funny. It's funny, but yeah,
it's pretty yeah.
and you read it really. It's not like you just read it and it's just obvious. And it's just
Yeah, unless you read it
suddenly you
aloud, you
burst out
probably won't
laughing,
notice it. I don't know. Yeah.
and then you just like have that laughing moment. It's just like, yeah, that's quite funny.
Yeah.
I do agree. You have to get the humour, but once you get the humour, it is really quite funny. I honestly I do love a good Phoenix Wright meme. You know, on the internet, they just always work and they're always funny. So yeah, it's quite funny.
But onto the song, yeah. So perhaps a weird pick, but I think this is a great demonstration of 3/4, the time signature, in a kind of waltzy kind of feel, and it's an interesting, it's an interesting ace attorney character theme in general. I wanted to display an ace attorney character theme that wasn't Godot's theme, and I thought this was it's one that is like really weird, and people who listen to it probably you enjoy it in the game, and then that's it. You're just gonna leave it alone. And for me, this is just personal preference. I just like this one.
Yeah.
I wanted to also just show off that all the tracks, like all character themes and everything, they all differ so wildly, like in the way that they're written. But it's perfect since obviously the actual characters and their personalities are all so unique and separate from one another. Obviously, yeah, a strange mix of instruments here, but it's something that I enjoy. I think, especially without the context, I think it's still fun. Yeah, I particularly enjoy the section where the synth bass in your right ear is kind of hitting at the start of each bar. Carries it again, groovy. It's a groovy track. I feel like starts off interesting, starts off not groovy, obviously, but it becomes groovy. I don't know. I like it. Again, the stuff is so quirky and unique. But it's fun to listen to. I think that's the best part.
Yeah. This one again. This one I do. Okay, I like it a bit better than the second one. It's okay for its time. I'm very surprised that they managed to pull this off. The styles, the unique quirkiness in that time when it was actually going out, like in that 8-bit style. 8-bit's quite. I think you're quite limited in what you can do with 8-bit music back in the day, and they've managed to use it to the best of its ability, and it's unique, and it's again, it's obviously a strange mix of instruments, but it does go together quite nicely. Like if I was playing an 8-bit game and this track was playing, I would just be like, oh, that's quite all right, I like it, it's all right, it's good. I didn't really get the Tetris feeling. I mean, unfortunately, once I suddenly thought Tetris, I thought Tetris for every single song that he chose. Unfortunately, but I just kept on kicking it in the face.
It doesn't even sound like Tetris.
It does. It's just Tetris, man.
It doesn't.
It's I don't know. It's horrible, man. I hate this Tetris curse that's been cast on my brain. It's horrible. But I really maybe that's tainting it for me. But definitely, it's all right. Again, unfortunately, I don't have a favorite because this is music I would listen to, right? It's not music I'd go out of my way to listen to. This is my part. I don't really groove to it. It's just like, it's all right, I guess, for its time. I mean, I would have grooved to it if I was living in the time it came out. But I know a lot better grooves, and but it's good. It's okay. It's not like bad. It's all a pass, It's not like a merit or a distinction, but I give all songs a pass, But it's a pass from me. It's a pass from me. But yeah, this is good. It's unique and quirky, which is good for an 8-bit song track, which is interesting.
Okay, we'll give it a listen then. Yeah.
Okay, and that was Luke Atmey. I Just Want Love. Track 3. Now, onto your overall, whatever you want to say next, Elijah, on the game.
Yeah, I think I wanted to sneak in a short clip of a fourth one, which I'll send you later.
No problem.
Yeah, which is it's the ending theme for Ace
Mm.
Attorney, Trials and Tribulations,
Mm-hmm.
because it's probably realistically it's probably my favorite theme out of any Ace Attorney game ever, really.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to include it in it was like there were quite a few that I struggled with,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, well, there's one of them I'm going to leave out because I can talk about it I can like say, oh yeah, here it's in my album. Here you go, listen to my album. No, but it's
Oh.
Eulogy of the Detained. It's
Mm-hmm.
a really, really somber piano piece. It's beautiful, really emotional. That's the kind of stuff that you probably want to hear. But yeah, I've got that. I've uploaded that twice on my channel, 2 different times, 2 different versions of it.
Right. So are we going to be hearing your remaster of it?
No, that's not the ending theme. That's a different one. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
Tension Center theme. The ending theme. I have actually remastered the ending theme, but we'll play the
Right.
original.
Okay, the original, yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to play a little clip to just to leave it with you. To leave it with the audience as we move on from Ace Attorney and talk about your soundtrack. To kind of leave it and be like, yeah, that's a kind of because it's got that kind of ending feel.
Okay,
I
like
feel
an
like Luke Atmey
ending
doesn't have that
credits.
ending feel, whereas it's done. So
Oh.
we'll give this a listen for a little bit and we'll move on. Okay, cool. So, Judah,
Yep.
I think I've said all I need to say for the time being. We can
Yep.
continue in the debate, but for the time being, yeah, let's move on to
Yes.
what you've chosen.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Elijah, for doing that. I'm pretty sure everybody is happy to hear that, including your viewers. So do share this episode around because I'm sure all your viewers would want to hear your thoughts on Ace Attorney. But onto my pick, a very different game, a very more modern game actually, and some may even say unfair to compare. But I do believe this is the Nintendo Music Wars, and I'm here to win. So
I say that the thing is, I say they're evenly matched. As a like
okay, all
an
right.
avid, I'm like a massive Pokemon fan, and I'm a massive Ace Attorney fan. I would say they're evenly matched. Just
Okay, that's good. I'm interested now because this week I've hit us up with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, man, what can I say? Let me give a quick view on the game soundtrack and Pokemon music in a whole. So, Pokemon has always had a unique and awesome music style, and is definitely up there when it comes to awesome Nintendo music. So, it literally, I think, provides a lot of the best music you can ever get in Nintendo music history. There's definitely from Pokemon Black and White, which you presented here in the episode.
Pokemon never lets you down on music, honestly.
Oh, never. They always have such good tunes, and it's time that I talked about my favourites as well. Pokemon, but honestly, from groove to tense to even ambience, Pokemon has it all. Literally all. Like I've literally heard every single genre. I think mostly every single genre I can think of in Pokemon. From rock to jazz, from bossa nova to foreign beats to funk, tension, fusion. It's just so many things, and it uniquely captures like every single genre and also throughout the entire franchise. And it's just really nice. Even like Spanish guitar, like that you like. I've even heard that in some Pokemon games. There's just so
in
many.
Scarlet and Violet specifically as well.
Yes,
which is
specifically
the Spanish region. Yeah,
exactly. Which is the Spanish region. Very important to point out. Which is I think my track doesn't actually have it exactly today, but
no, you haven't really.
No, I haven't chosen one, but I did hear it when I was going through the OCT.
Yeah.
It's by far one of the best holding OCT tracks out there, Pokemon. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in particular, it's really nice. And honestly, you know this, Elijah, I was taking ages. I was eating my fried eggs for breakfast, just listening to every single track. And I was like, what do I choose? I love them all. Like I literally loved them all.
You have an interesting taste though, because like
I do.
Again, you've chosen some very like
random,
okay, you start off very strong, but some of them I'd be like, actually, that's really interesting that you've chosen those ones. Like, I did a whole video where it was an hour long where I reacted to like the best Pokemon Scarlet and Violet music. And
Mm.
I was rewatching that before we recorded, just like
Mm.
half of it, and I already came across like 20 songs at least that I've been like, that was so much better than the ones you've chosen. Like I
Yes.
feel like you aren't doing it justice here, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. I respect your view there because actually, um, I thought that my picks would be quite controversial when it comes to the best three, But this is in my opinion. Now, these when I say top three, I actually really struggled. But these three, I thought I would hit us with the first track that everyone loves, right? The first one, I'm pretty sure everyone knows it and everyone loves it. It's the popular one. But like you with Ace Attorney, I wanted to hit us with some more unique tracks that no one actually talks about and no one actually thinks
I
about
guess, yeah,
enough.
yeah.
So the other two tracks I don't think are talked about enough. They're definitely not listened to enough, and that I personally like them both. And so, although they're not like in the top, favorite music tracks, I'm basically doing what you're doing. So I'm picking out rant tracks that like some people may not prefer, people have never really heard of, or people just don't really think about, and I'm bringing it to your attention and saying, hey, give it another listen and look how good it is. It's actually pretty good, pretty talented. It's pretty unique. And the third one is just mere my taste. Like I just love this for an ambience. But we'll talk about that one when we get to that one. I think we should all start, Elijah, with the first track. The famous, if you like, the one that everyone really likes. And I think you actually go check this out, guys. Elijah did a solo episode on our podcast for us very kindly while I was running around in London, Kent, and everywhere. He did a episode for me where he went and read out Google reviews for the Mario movie when it came out, and along with that, he did a Nintendo music segment, and he actually did some of this. I think he included this first track, and he talked a bit.
I included this version of your track. Yeah.
Yeah, so he talks a bit about these tracks. Now, this track, it's lovely. The first track is called Wild Battle. This is my first track.
South Province.
That's very important to remember. I should have put it in the notes.
4 wild battle themes.
Yeah, there are 4 wild battle themes, which is again really good in Pokemon that they do this because when you're battling in different regions, or not regions, sorry, in different provinces, different areas, they do like a different thing, a different setting. Like if you're in a desert,
they never did this until Gen 9, until this game here, recent one. Most recent. They never did it in the past, which I think is.
Oh really? I may not have noticed, but that's interesting then.
Yeah, it's always been only one battle theme, and it's always been very intense. But for this, the first proper open world Pokemon game, they decided to make different battle themes for different areas because it's a much bigger map. Obviously.
Wow, so that's similar to Monster Hunter Stories then, because each battle's got different music, which is quite funny. Right. That's really good though, because this is the South Province Wild Battle with and this is probably one of the favourites. Now, I had a really hard choice between either South or East Province. No, not East, sorry, West Province. I love the bass line for West Province.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, oh man, it's just so groovy. And Wild Battle South Province. Let me just talk a bit about this one. Well, the wild battle tracks in Scarlet and Violet are, in my opinion, the best wild battle themes that we've ever had in Pokemon so far. And Pokemon battle themes have always been good. They've always been intense, good for a Pokemon battle. But in my opinion, these are the best. These are one of our these like the ones that I actually listen to. I'm grooving to them. I'm like, this is like I feel like I'm really fighting. This is like a fight, but there's groove to it. It's like it's good. This track is amazing. It's really good. I love. Oh man, being a bass guitarist, I always love the bass. My ears always tune into hearing the bass in songs, and you can't miss the bass in this song. It's the most groovy slap bass you'll ever hear, along with a funky drum beat to accompany it, and then a whole orchestra chasing it. So, oh man, I was hearing it in my mind. I'm just like this is so good, and it's amazing, and it's groovy in every single way. The sounds it sounds good no matter how much you listen to it. So yeah, in my opinion, this song can't really go wrong. I've chosen I've thought I'd hit us off with one that everyone kind of likes. This has got probably the most likes in all of the OCT tracks.
No, far from it.
Really?
Yeah.
I was looking through it. Like, some of them are having like 200 likes, and this one had like 700 likes.
No, I don't know how you went through the whole thing because you've missed like. I
didn't look at the like buttons for everything. I went through the whole thing.
There's so many other battle tracks and area tracks that beat this one.
I do agree though. No, I do actually understand. There are loads of. That's what I said. It was so hard picking my 3, but these 3 are mainly down to personal preference, and there are definitely tracks that I know I could have chosen over these tracks, but I wanted to be like, no, I wanted to show you some tracks that probably are not appreciated enough. Underrated, that's the word. Underrated tracks. That's what I think they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely one of my favourites, and yeah, this is Wild Battle. Great, it's just really nice. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is also one of my probably just in my top 10 for like Scarlet and Violet tracks overall, because there's so many good ones. In Scarlet and Violet, it really is like amazing soundtrack overall. Yeah, I really like this one. Very groovy. I love the drums and the bass, like you said. I've talked about this in our solo episode, and I talked about it in a whole video I made as well. So I've said plenty about it in the past.
Should I link the video?
Yeah, I'll give you things in the description. Yeah.
Yes, we'll link your video in the description. Yes.
Yeah, but as for this, it's very progressive as well, in the sense that like it builds slowly over time. It's not like it's off the bat grooving, but it's not off the bat like super everything's going on crazy. It's like it's very, I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the first one I gave you, Defendant Lobby, where there's something always going on, kind of carrying the background, and then there are things that add to it, like here and there. And I think that's good. Like with the orchestra, that's what it does in this one. The
adds to it.
Yeah.
Gives it depth. Like,
yeah. Do you know who Toby Fox is, right?
Yeah, the musician.
Yeah. So he's also a game developer. He made Undertale and Deltarune. He's the creator of those games, and he made the music for this. If you didn't know, he works on some Pokemon music.
Yeah, so I know he's been involved in the Pokemon music sector. Yeah. Yeah,
for the last 2 games, slightly.
Yes.
But yeah, he gave them the melody for this, and they kind of made all of the different area themes out of it. And I think it's interesting. I like it.
Shout out to Toby Fox. Yeah.
I was saying, I'll give you some clips to put somewhere, probably like on the community tab or something.
Yes.
Because in that video that I did a breakdown of some Toby Fox things, and you can hear it in this track. That is like in many different Toby Fox songs in the past, and it's interesting to hear.
Is it like a leitmotif then, you could say?
I don't know. It's kind of like it's not exactly, but it's like a signature thing that he does. And the thing is, I don't even think he does it intentionally. I think it's just his way of writing. He likes adding that stuff. And for me, it stands out a lot. But yeah, I'll send you that.
Send me everything.
Yeah.
Just send me everything on Discord, and I'll just whack it all in the description.
Yeah, I'll link it all down. But I haven't got much to say about it since I've already said so much previously.
Check the video out on Elijah's opinion. It'll be quiet for this episode.
Yeah, and I can't be able to write down all my notes again for that. But yeah, it's a good track. Very good opening. That's
good opening, good everything. Great track. Vote for me. But anyway, this is definitely. Should we give it a listen?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was Wild Battle from the South Province. On to my second track. Sorry, this is quite a funny choice. I think people would say, but again, I really like it. I could have chose way better, but I like this. It's got something. This style. Let me explain. So I've chosen for my second track, Montenerva. Now this song is the Ghost Gym. This is what plays in the Ghost Gym, and
in the town.
The town Ghost Gym. Montenerva. Now, this gym track has a really nice melody. I really like it. It's a mix of groove and mystery, which I really like. It's got like a magical feeling to it, but it's with an edge of mystery, and it's fusioned with a groovy bass line. So again, this is again, this is like a tough thing to do when you give someone two different sort of genres and you say mix them together. It's hard. You're gonna have a hard time doing that. To me, it's like a mystery. It's like mystery. It's like magical, ghostly kind of. It's kind of mysterious, and they've then added quite a groovy bass line to that. And it's like and it all kind of goes quite nice. It's like it feels good. It feels like everything's okay, but then again, there's a magical mystery behind it, which makes this track really interesting. And it's got like a groovy, ghostly feeling to it. That's what I put here. Groovy, ghostly feeling, and yeah, it's quite indescribable. But I just think they've really, really done well in how they've written this song. The melody and the groove, like being a bass guitarist, is. When you get a bass line that's groovy, it's always natural to add that to drums and some electric guitars and just make kind of a whole groove track. But it's different on the other hand to add like a slow, I don't know, or add tension in the background to that groove, or add like an atmospheric sort of mystery to it, a magical sort of. It's just hard to explain. I definitely think this track is underrated, and I think it's very well written in the fact that they've done that. They've fused these two sort of styles together. Any thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a nice theme. I just think you haven't chosen, because the thing is, maybe it's probably because you don't know the game, but there's a battle theme that plays in this town. That is one of the best battle themes. There's also
I do agree. Actually, in the battle theme,
a battle theme and an area theme that are this theme but better. Like quite literally, they are the same theme, same chords, same progression, same string, same all of it. But it's just the original version, which is the better version. And I just think, like, you could have. In fact, wait. Just for also because this is working in your favor anyway. But let's play just not like 20-30 seconds of the North Province Wild Battle theme.
Sure.
Then we can compare it to this, and you can hear the similarities.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll play the North. I mean, I've listened to every single one, but we'll do it. We'll play the North to compare it. Let's give the North Province a listen. Is it the battle theme, right?
Yeah.
Let's give the North Province battle theme a listen. And that was the North Province battle theme.
Yeah.
Now, what were you going to say about that?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's the same. It's working in your favor because that's my favorite theme of the entire game. I think.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that's one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
I'm glad to hear that because it is very good. I can't really remember it too much, but I do recognise it. Yeah.
This is a nice theme, but I think like Cascarapa is a better town theme, and the North Province battle theme is like the same song as this, but just better. I don't know, but anyway, it's still
similar. Yeah,
it's nice. I get it. It's just a more relaxing version of the track. But yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah,
it's all right. It's a high pass.
Yeah.
That's what you put last time. But yeah, I think. Yeah, this is interesting. To be fair, I personally am trying to bring out the uniqueness of this song to people's ears. So there are definitely tracks that again I could pick over this. But honestly, I want to let the music do its justice. I've not got too much to say on this, honestly.
Yeah.
But
let's hear how totally unique it is now that you've heard the other one.
How totally unique it is, and appreciate it more now you've heard it with the North Province. Let's give it a listen. Hit it, Elijah. And that was Montenerva, Ghost Jim in Slash. To my track 3, Ryme's Rap Battle. Now, this is interesting. I think you were messaging me, Elijah, saying, now is your chance to change the last one. And I understand. A lot of people may be like, why, dude? This song lasts
It's not even that I don't like it. I like it. I just think it's a really crappy loop and it's very generic. Like, it's just, you can hear this in like any song ever if you really want. Like, I could give you so many examples. And with like a game like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you had like Area Zero. You could have like the Ruinous Quartet theme. You could have used so many better themes. Even the school theme. Like,
I couldn't. No, there are. I agree.
So many better themes. Like,
you're proving
literally,
my point
I think
that the OCT
is
amazing.
This is like one of the like. If I was to put this in like a tier list, it would be in the lowest 10. Wow. Genuinely, because of just it's not because it was bad, but just because it's not special. Oh, it's just,
no. This is the thing, right? I know a lot of people will be like, why? You could have chosen like another track. Yes, they were so good. Because the OCT is amazing. And I've just proven my point. And the OCT has so many good tracks. But this is a personal preference. I really like this. Like, it's just really nice. It's a lot of people making confused as to why I chose this in my top 3. But as a man who loves groove, you know, this groove ambience that is played really hits the spot. Like, it hits the spot for me, you know. And even though it loops quickly, it feels like really good to listen to, and I can listen to it for hours. I wanted it to like last longer because the loop is not a problem for me. I love that little groove. It's literally one tune and it goes ding, 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 and it does it over and over again. And I wanted to include this to show variety, that even the most smallest and quickly looped tunes can sound super good. You know.
Okay.
And it's played with like a rap sort of theme. And I do understand it can be, you know, it sounds a bit generic, but I like how they've kind of. It's not. It's still unique to the game, and it's really nice. And I definitely think it's one of those tunes that just hit the spot for me. It's a groove lover. Some people may think differently. Some people may agree with me. I don't know, but yeah. Anything else you'd like to say that is generic? But I think it hits the spot. You know.
It's an interesting little loop, and it is a nice track. But I just really don't think it's anything special in the sense that I feel like I've heard 20 free samples on Ableton that sound just like this. You know, it's the least unique thing ever.
Although here's the thing, right? Even though you say that, which is fair enough, I still think it's groovier than Ace Attorney to compare it. This is what we're comparing. I think it's way groovier.
Years,
no. This is groovier.
Not in every parallel universe. Not in any of them. No.
Well, to be fair, I knew you would say that because you kind of like are Ace Attorney. You're the face of Ace Attorney here, so you're representing Ace Attorney.
No, but even just
you can't really say.
Thing is, even like we've done a similar thing, I guess, where it's like there are better tracks to show off, and we've chosen our personal ones. But this is the one I have a problem with because like I love your soundtrack. I feel like more than you do. And that's why I'm really upset that you haven't chosen a better one.
No, I really love this. Like, this is the annoying thing, right? I wanted to bring variety to the table, like variety. I wanted to include one really good track that everyone knows that's funky and is amazing. One track that's underrated, and one track that's a tune that's looped. So it's like small. I wanted to bring, you know, so it's really small and quick to the table, you know, that really hits the spot, you know, variety, you know.
You might as well have chosen like the eating a sandwich loop.
No,
plays, honestly.
I heard that, but eating a sandwich just it's okay, but this
exactly it's okay. This is okay as well.
No, but the rap back this hits the spot for me. I mean, to be fair, the eating a sandwich, I listened to that, and I went to my kitchen. I was downstairs, you see. I got out a sandwich and I ate a sandwich while listening to eating a sandwich to see if it matched eating a sandwich. And no, I'm being serious. So I ate a sandwich while listening to eating a sandwich, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm eating a sandwich. I don't know.
But, I wasn't telling you to use that one. I'm just saying you like that one is rubbish, but you might as well have used it.
I know. Rhymes rap battle though. I'm like, yeah, you know, this is groovy. You know, this is like good. It's good. It hits
all it emphasizes is the lack of voice acting in Pokemon games. Honestly, that's all it does.
Well, honestly, I do understand what you're saying, though.
Silent rap battle, yeah, great.
Yeah, I know, but I understand. You know, I understand. But man, it hits the spot for me. I just want to see what people's views are. I want to.
Oh yeah,
fair enough. I want people to let in. I want people to write in. You know, I mean, and in a minute, I'm gonna. Before we do the clash, I'm gonna read out people's comments.
Okay.
We had a few comments. So yeah, honestly, guys, I want you guys to let me know. Do you think this is good? Like, in your opinion, does this hit the spot for you? Because I just thought and it only plays for a small amount of time in the entire game. So I wanted to bring it to the table and be like, look, this is quite good because it loops
Because
and it
it's
still sounds
filler
good.
music, bro. It plays in a small part of the game because
It's
you
filler.
don't.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's cutscene. It's like semi in between battle cutscene music, bro. It's not even.
I know, but it's good.
It exists just so there isn't silence. That's why.
I know, but it's good. You know, it's
Oh,
hard to make a loop that actually sounds good on each thing. You know.
I mean, all right.
All right, let's just give it a listen. Let's just give it a listen. And that was Ryme's rap battle. I hope you were rapping along to that, if you're a rapper. Yeah. But now,
with the great rap lyrics that there are.
The great rap lyrics there are. That was fire though. That scene in Pokemon. That was the guy who raps. The woman who raps? She's good.
Old
at
lady, yeah.
The old lady. She's good at rapping. You know, the lyrics are fire, mate.
Totally,
fire,
yeah.
Totally fire, mate. Better than Eminem. Yeah. But anyway, on to my overall. Actually, I don't think I need to really give an overall. Really. To compare it, honestly. Actually, never mind. I'll save this for the clash because I thought that's kind of more of a clash from just comparing it to yours. So I'm now going to read out a comment that we've had in regarding last week's choice in the comments. So, of course, the first comment is from me, and I personally think that Monster Hunter Stories is the GOAT here. And
trying to big yourself up.
Yeah, it completely blows Super Smash Bros. Out the water. But yeah, of course, no one really cares. But now, onto the actual comments that we've had. So we've got a comment on YouTube here from Temmie, and she says here, not gonna lie, this Monster Hunter is meh. Okay music, but I gotta say Smash Bros. Now, honestly, now I think about it, the third track I could have changed it. I would agree with you, Elijah. Now I've lost the war of that episode. Yes.
Now you're all downhearted. And,
I'm now down. I'm depressed and disheartened. Temmie, yes. The music. The Monster Hunter isn't meh. Okay, I disagree with you, Temmie, but I do understand why you think it's meh due to my choice. Okay,
I guess
bad choice, but yeah. And then we also had another comment in from Zach, and he said, "Definitely Super Smash Bros. For me. Sorry, Judah." It's just looking badder and badder for that episode. I mean, he only had 185 votes for me, so I guess. And then my sister, of course, she didn't write in, but she walked into my room and said Monster Hunter was way better than Elijah's tracks. So I was like, yeah.
That's personal. That's family bias. That's what
it's family bias. No, but maybe. Well, anyway, those are the comments. So yeah, well done, Elijah. Again, I congratulate you on your winning. I'm surprised. I honestly thought I would get more votes. I honestly thought I would win, but no, I didn't. I'm surprised and upset, and definitely not salty.
I'm not surprised.
Of course, it's not surprised. Anyway, on to the clash. This time I want to go first. I want to compare. This time, I'm going to say, Elijah. Yeah, this is my preference. Yeah, your tracks this week. You know, I couldn't really find a favorite, but it's okay because it's the 8-bit. You know, the style back in the day. It was good. You know, it's got skill. It's got style to it. 100%. Ace Attorney definitely has better tracks though. I don't know why you picked these three, but then again, you did say that you wanted to show the uniqueness.
It's the kind of the same thing as you know. It's the.
I know, same thing though. That's the same thing.
It's the same thing of my tracks. Yeah. I still think they're all they're all good tracks. It's not the bad ones I just wanted to show off because they don't get enough appreciation. They're good tracks and they are well appreciated anyway. But I just feel like for non-Ace Attorney fans, no one's gonna listen to them. unless I show them off, and they deserve to be listened to.
That's fair though. I understand because I've done the same thing. I've chosen tracks that no one
Other
really.
than your third one, which I still disagree with.
No,
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. It's fine. I just I wanted to do Scarlet and Violet justice, and you haven't done it justice. I'm gonna punch you.
He's gonna just turn up at my house, knock on the door, bang,
knock the door down.
Well, so that's why we hope this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet wins. You know?
This could have been some reverse psychology thing from you, though, to be like, I'll get him to try and do the work for me and try and sell Scarlet and Violet for me. That's what I'm doing, really. I am like digging up both of the soundtracks.
Yeah.
Trying to make them
honestly,
both
though. Yeah, I definitely could have chosen a better one than the third one, but I still think it should be listened to because I like it. It's like, I'm just getting in my head. I'm moving my head already. You know, it makes you move. You know, it's great. It's good. But yeah, compared to Ace Attorney, though, comparing the tracks, you think they're fairly matched? I think it's a 90 to 1% chance that I'm going to win. I think the OCTs compared, like if you compare all the tracks to Ace Attorney, actually, never mind. I'm comparing our three against each other.
If you compare our three, I win. If you compare the whole OSTs, I win. Like, bro, come on.
No, it's fairly matched. I'm comparing the three each. Three each, I definitely think I've got the better choice. But
it is evenly matched.
Yeah. Honestly, your first two sound the same to me. I can't really. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But this is because of the style, man. But yeah, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm just losing brain cells. I'm literally sweating. My window is shut and I'm melting as I record this because it's a very hot day.
It was raining last night for us, but
it's
we're meant
horrible.
to have thunderstorms today, but they haven't come yet. So
it's humid. It's horrible. But anyway, mate, anything you want to say? Really?
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I feel like you've picked a really good soundtrack.
Exactly.
And so have I. So I guess it depends. It just depends on the viewer's opinion. I think you haven't shown it off well enough but then again, even if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have done well enough either because there are too many good songs to show off in a short, only three. That's why that's why I snuck in a 4 for you, and did the same for me because there's just too many to show. It's
good to sneak in the little fourth, I think, because there's so many. It's just good to definitely. I've got to say though, for both soundtracks, I'm struggling to go against my friend. When I say friend, I'm talking about you, and I'm talking about Ace Attorney because I really like Ace Attorney's music. Like sadly, these ones, were my favorites, but there are favorites I can think of that are really nice. Like man. Ace Attorney's got some great tracks, and so has my soundtrack. So compared, I think overall this is an even match. I can't really say anything bad for both sides as a whole OCT. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the vote. Should we now leave it up to our viewers? Do you think that's a good thing? We should leave it to.
I think we've said what we need to. Yeah.
Yes, said what we need to. That's the word. But yeah. Now, guys, this series is not possible without you. You guys tell us who will win in your idea, because me and Elijah are very biased. We'll be arguing all day, all night, all week who would win. We'll never come to a conclusion, will we? We're always going to fight for our own. And, of course, Elijah's going to fight for Ace Attorney because that's his entire career, if you like.
It's my baby. I love Ace Attorney.
It's his baby. It's him. It's Ace Attorney. So, yeah. And also, guys, definitely go out and check Elijah's channel, which is in the link description to hear Ace Attorney Remasters, which is literally what he does. He does a new album each year. Is it new each year? Do you want to plug your channel? Do you want to plug your channel now for us?
I mean, I make... I'm on break currently. But when I come back, I will be making more Ace Attorney things. I remaster all sorts of Nintendo music. But yeah, mainly Pokemon and Ace Attorney is my focus. And Ace Attorney is where most of my subs are. Therefore, it's my popular kind of thing. But yeah, I do one big album every year. This year, I'm doing 2 albums, and they're both going to be equal in size, and they're going to be pretty big. So keep an eye out for that. And for the time being, you have 2 Ace Attorney albums, a Pokemon album, a Mario Kart album, a personal album. You have all sorts of things to listen to if you feel
There's loads
like
of things here.
And random little videos here and there anyway. So
yeah. So if you're a new person who is new to this episode, new to Elijah and his content, go check his channel out and subscribe and listen to all the stuff he's got already down, Definitely give it all a listen because There's loads of really nice little stuff going on down there, and yeah, his Ace Attorney stuff is really, really good. And of course, subscribe to me because I'm just I'm making Nintendo videos.
For the unboxing video, subscribe for the unboxing video.
Yeah, subscribe for the unboxing video because I've now got a Nintendo Switch. I've not announced it yet on this episode. Yeah, I've got a Nintendo Switch OLED, and I've been addicted, and I forgot I had to record today. So that's how addicted I am. The power of addiction and gaming. So. Yeah, guys, it's lovely, and I'll be editing the video to put out on my channel. So go and check that out for ASMR, terrible ASMR. But anyway, now who will win? Pokémon Scarlet and Violet versus Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Which game has better music? We will now leave it up to you, the listener. We want you to vote which game soundtrack you preferred. This is really important as you guys make this series possible. Please write a comment down below or take part in our polls. We will be posting on Spotify, YouTube's community post, and Discord. And if you're unable to do any of this, please write in your voice note. I don't know why I just my brain voice note. Write in your vote to our email at jrsgaming135@gmail.com. That is jrsgaming135@gmail.com. I thought I'd repeat, just in case. But anyway, you have until next Friday or Saturday, or you have until next weekend. So
yeah,
vote. Tell them to vote, Elijah, as always.
Vote.
Tell them.
Yeah, always tell them to vote.
Always telling you to vote. Vote. You heard it here first. The battle is on. Only one of us can win. Who will it be? This is the Nintendo Music. Never mind. Wars.